Warning. It is the opinion of the 4th Street Productions LLC and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language. Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by jdub, Justin Richardson, BJ DJ Skins, Bethany Cherney, and the madman Oliver Assiran. And our guest today is the one and the only Miss Pandora. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram, Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we keep bringing you this sweet, sweet content. Jalen Dubski, how we doing, baby?
I'm doing ship shape.
Love it, very nice. DJ BJ Skins, I messed it up the first time, but I got it right this time. Glad to have you back. How are you, Bethany?
I am sensational.
Very nice, good. And then Oliver Assiran. Thank you for being back, sir. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me back, and I am really excited about this guest tonight.
Yeah, well, speaking of being excited, this is the Working Perspectives podcast. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live, then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
All right. On the show today, we have a very special guest, Miss Pandora. So what happened was we have the one and only Oliver Assiran on the show. And then Oliver, after being on the show several times, told me, he's like, hey, I got a guest that you need to have on. And I was like, hit me. And he said two people. One was the man, the myth, Eliseo Tahanlungit, which we had on the show earlier. Really great dude. And then the other one, which he was like, this is the one you really need, is the one and only Miss Pandora. So super excited to have her on the show today. Really thankful she could be here. Miss Pandora, thanks for coming. Before we get started, I would just like to ask, what movie do you think is better, Steel Magnolias or Fried Green Tomatoes?
That's really a question.
yeah.
You should go with the other one first.
Okay, what movie do you think is better, The Godfather Part 1 or The Godfather Part 2?
Godfather Part 1, absolutely.
Yeah.
Correct.
We're not starting off great here, Miss
Yes.
Pandora.
I haven't the first question you asked. I haven't seen either of those.
Bethany, have you seen either of those movies?
I've seen both, and my answer would be Steel Magnolias.
Wow. Okay. See, this is the thing, right? When we ask female guests about some male guests too, but when we ask, yeah, well, is normally when we ask a female guest about The Godfather Part 1 and Part 2, which one's better, it's usually like, go fuck yourself. What are you even talking about, right? So I'm trying to have a question that's
female
more
equivalent.
correct. So I thought Steel Magnolias, Fried Green Tomatoes. Is Bethany? They're not the same. Okay. Well, I'll find another one. Guess what?
I'll help you out.
Appreciate it. Hey, if anyone could come up with the female equivalent to that, then please tell me. But yeah, so very good. Great. And then next question, Miss Pandora, when it comes to Cheetos, are you crunchy or puffed?
It's funny that you asked me that question. I have a very good friend who lives in Los Angeles who actually does the voice of Chester the cheetah for the Cheetos commercials.
Get the hell out of here.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not lying. I'm
Wow.
not lying.
You know
Is his name
Chester.
Jesus? Because that's incredible.
He's like a
No.
Chester, yeah.
Jesus the Cheeto.
Yeah. So, well, okay. So, what would you say, crunchy or puff?
I don't eat Cheetos.
Wow,
I
you
just
know
don't-
Chester, and you don't even eat Cheetos.
You can't even
Don't tell him.
All right. I mean, your secret's safe with us. The next time we have the meeting, I'm gonna tell him. But either way, all right. So, next question: pancakes or waffles?
That's a tough one. I like both.
Mm.
Okay, pancakes, because they're easier to make. You don't need a special device, just a pan.
You don't need
You
all that
do,
fancy schmancy. Pancakes
Flat-
for the working man.
Flapjacks
old-fashioned
are, but I mean, right? Is easier always better? Right? I mean, look at Ford
Yes.
Motor Company.
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
So far.
So far we're hitting for the jdub cycle here. Okay, next question. When it comes to themes parks, are you an amusement park or water park person?
Not a water park person.
Ooh,
Oh,
Definitely
Justin.
never mind.
Amusement park.
Wait, why did he say never mind?
I'm the water park. So me and Matthew have dividing sides on all of these questions. So
Yep.
far, I was with you until now.
Yeah.
Oh no! I
See how
lost
quick
him.
he is
And-
to
and-
abandon you. I stuck with you both times when you said the wrong answers, and
Got
as
Look,
soon as
what-
one pancakes.
And
Yeah.
she was wrong until now. And
Yeah.
that
very,
is
very wrong. Yeah. So-
water
You're
park.
supposed to be my friend.
I have to disagree with you.
Yeah. No one. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, come on. Either way. I mean, Godfather Part 1 was bad enough, but pancakes over waffles. What is this? Communist China? I mean, come on. What, Bethany? I think you sent it to me. Waffles are just a vessel for syrup. Is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They've got little cups to hold it.
They've got
Come
the,
on.
Yeah.
Just a-
they got the
just a
square
s-
hole,
Just
the
a
square
syrup dumpster.
pits.
Syrup dumpsters, right? Okay. Next question. Okay. When do you play video games, Miss Pandora?
Yes.
Okay. Are you Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Yay.
He's back on the Justin train. All right. Wow, good for you. Next question. Beatles or Rolling Stones?
Rolling Stones.
Ooh, which one
Dude,
am I again,
A
Justin?
lot of the guests have been saying Rolling Stones. I don't think we've had like a guest say Beatles yet.
We did have one. It was
Weird, 'cause
Mickey
they're so much
fucking
better.
Sergeant Peppers is is Beatles. But
He's a very intelligent, handsome man.
yeah, intelligent Mickey fucking Sergeant Peppers. All right, but I'll tell you. Well, I think what it is. I think when we were all younger, I think it was Beatles. But then it was like Mickey Sergeant Pepper said. As soon as he started drinking beers and doing nose beers, it was Stones since then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're edgier.
They are edgier.
They got
Hell
that
yeah.
edge. And the
Amen.
blues, more of a blues thing going on.
All right, Bethany, what were you? Stones or Beatles?
Stones.
Oh yeah, because you and me, you hit for the old Uncle Matty cycle.
Bethany
Yeah.
and Matt agree on everything.
Just about damn near everything. Well, we're gonna find out because I have a new question.
Okay.
And then next question, new question: chocolate or vanilla?
You're asking someone who is a pro dom and a fetish model and who's into kink, chocolate or vanilla?
Everyone gets these questions.
Really?
You're not above the question.
Not vanilla. Not vanilla.
No.
I'm not gonna pick vanilla.
So it's so chocolates for the kinks and the femdoms. Is that what we're
Just
saying?
not vanilla.
You're saying vanilla's too plain. Is that what you mean?
Well,
Do you
there's
know
a
what
sexual.
vanilla
Yeah,
means in the
I don't think he
pink
knows exactly what that
I don't know. Sorry.
That's really cute, actually. Your naivete is
It's
charming.
cute, you fucking virgin. That's exactly what you were saying. No, I'm kidding. All right, go ahead. I have I have a kid and it's confirmed. So I have had sex at least once. So there you go. Look at me.
It's
I
probably
wasn't
vanilla.
suggesting you were a virgin, just maybe not well versed in the kink world. The vanilla means someone who just likes straight sex, no fetishes, no kink,
No.
no
So
excitement.
So like the worst kind of person ever, basically, is what you're saying.
Terrible.
The worst
Terrible.
human there is. Yeah. Who can live that way? You know
Just
what I
the
mean?
Genghis Khan of podcasting. That's you.
the Genghis Khan of podcasting. Well, I mean, I have been.
That's a compliment. I like this.
You have
I'm not mad.
conquered,
You can
right?
write that
I
down.
am
You can put
not
that in quotations.
at it. All right. So, okay. So you're definitely not vanilla, because vanilla means that you don't get to do the fun stuff in bed, which you're right. It does mean that. And we all knew it. You know.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Now, this is the question that this is going to separate the room. Okay. This is going to tell us like who you are. This is going to tell us who you are. All right. When it comes to eating wings, are you
I've been waiting for
drums
this.
or are you flaps?
Drums. More meat on the
Good
drums.
job.
More
Good
meat on the
job.
drums.
Justin can smoke the show.
You know,
Yeah.
I've never, and I've been friends with you for a while, and I was waiting for this question because I was like, I hope she doesn't break my heart and go with the flap.
When
And she
we
did.
went to
Good
go
job.
see your wife perform, I had the big wings, and you see me
You
carving
did.
down on those drums.
I did, but you never know. People have different, you know.
All-
I don't know.
Also, I don't know if anyone else picked up on it, but I said drums and flaps.
I heard that.
So I don't know if anyone listening, I'm dating us, but the episode we aired today was the Jill Harth episode. And when I asked her this question, I said drums and flats, but she thought I said flaps. And I was like, that is such a better name for flats, is flaps, because they're wings and you flap your wings. And I fucking lost my mind when she did that. So, you know, we might be calling them flaps from now on, and we'll let it ride. We'll let it ride. Also,
You got to change the merch.
yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say, well, the merch store will be closed by the time this airs, but yeah, we do have a merch store, or we did, and it was great. And you're a drummer, you're a flat, or you can go fuck yourself. So okay, let's keep moving. Last question. You can only choose one. You've had both, but you can only choose one for the rest of your life. Are you going Mexican food or Chinese food?
Wow.
We asked some
That's
tough
a
questions on this
tough
show.
one.
Yeah.
I just had this yummy Chinese food last night.
I mean, every time I think of goons,
Fried rice, General Tso's chicken, bourbon chicken. Ooh, yeah, I got to go with the Chinese food.
what is your thoughts on crab rangoon, Miss Pandora?
Love them.
Oh,
Love them.
I could take down a whole gang of goons anytime.
Goons,
Just
that's what you
love 'em.
call 'em.
I believe they call it a gaggle.
A gaggle of goons.
Gaggle of goons.
Love it, man.
Like
Gaggle
one-
of goons.
One order of a gaggle of goons, please.
No more, no less.
No more, no less. Love it. All right.
That
very
is
nice.
how, speaking of gaggles of goons, the place I get my goons from will not let you get a half order. It comes in 8. And I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, can I get 4 goons? And she's like, no. I'm like, but I'll pay full price. I just want 4. No, you have to have 8.
I don't know why you would want less goons.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the
Because I'm gonna
Easy
eat 8
Rider,
goons.
the Easy Rider scene where all he wants is toast, and she won't let him have toast, so he orders a sandwich and says he's just gonna eat the toast off the sandwich.
No,
She's like,
you're talking
I'm gonna order the
about
sandwich, but
5
just
easy
give me the
pieces.
toast with the
No,
sandwich.
that's not Easy
Oh,
Rider.
5 Easy.
5 Easy.
You're right. You're right. I got my Jack Nicholson movies mixed
What
up.
is what? So I know Easy Rider. What is 5 easy pieces?
Oh, 5. You know what? I almost don't want to tell you. It's a Jack Nicholson movie. He's blue collar guy working in a blue collar town with his buddy, and they're married to these 2 girls. I don't want to give it away. It's fantastic. Just watch
Great
it.
movie.
It's a great movie. But
5
there's
easy
a very
pieces.
famous there's
Yeah,
a
it
very
was
famous
piano
scene where he wants wheat toast, and he's like, I'll take an order of wheat toast. She's like, we don't do that. And he's like, all right, well, I'll take a tuna fish sandwich on wheat bread. And she's like, okay.
Toast it.
He's like, can you toast the bread? She's like, yeah. He's like, all right, hold the tuna fish, hold the lettuce, hold everything.
Hold the
And then I'll just
tomato.
take the bread.
Hold
Yeah,
everything
I'll just
except the
take the bread.
And she
Famous
said,
scene.
and they did it, right? I'm assuming.
I mean, yeah, she wasn't very happy about it.
Good. I mean, I don't know. Part of me is like good for shoving it up that person's ass for being a dipshit, but also part of me it was like a waiter and a bartender for like forever. So
You and me both.
any disrespect shown to any server makes me want to kill people. So I'm on the fence. I'll have to see how Nicholson pulls it off. Maybe he pulls
As
it
a
off.
server, though, someone asked for wheat toast, I'd go make wheat toast for it.
Right. I wouldn't give a fuck
gotcha.
about wheat toast. I would not give a fuck. Right.
I gotcha.
I
You're
lived
right.
across the street from a bar / pizza shop, and I would get them to make me a fried egg sandwich at like 1 a.m. I'd be like, "Look, you have egg, you have white bread, you have bacon, you have cheese. Like, I'll pay you whatever amount of money you want. I'll make it myself. But can I just get?" I was like, or I literally like, give me an egg, and I'll buy the egg, and I'll go across the street and make it myself. I need these things.
Why did you want a fried egg sandwich so bad? I don't think I've ever had a fried egg sandwich craving after a night of partying.
Dude,
You never had?
nice little
You've
cheesy
never had
egg
a
at the
fried
end of the
egg
night.
sandwich craving after
Egg?
partying.
What?
Are you human?
I've
Cheesy
had
egg.
like pizza and wings and beer. Like I've had the cheesesteaks, like going out to a diner and getting a ton of shit cravings, but yeah, they never cheesy egg never crossed my mind.
Banging.
Well, I guess you'll have to tell me. So either way, on the show today, like we said, Miss Pandora is here. Super excited to get this show on the road. So let's stop wasting any more time. So Miss
That was
Pandora,
a waste of time.
I mean,
We have to know who you are,
right. We had to find out who you really were, and you were a drum, and that means you're a good person. So okay. So you were born and grew up in the great state of Virginia. Is that correct?
Yeah, the Bible Belt, no less.
The Bible Belt. So, but you're in like Western Virginia, not West Virginia, but the western part of the state of Virginia. Is that right?
No, I grew up in Virginia Beach, which is home of Pat Robertson and the 700 Club and Jim and Tammy Baker, Tammy Faye.
Yeah.
I don't know any of
Jim
that.
Baker
there a
went
lot.
Jim Baker was a like a mega church pastor kind of guy. He went to jail, I believe, for money
Got
laundering.
busted having sex with the secretary.
Had food buckets.
Yeah,
I mean-
he's doing that now. Now he has food
Yeah.
buckets. You can still buy Jim Baker food buckets.
You should
This is
never
true.
get,
Yeah.
When he got out of jail, he went back to the whole evangelical grift thing. So now he sells like apocalypse
Sure did.
pills and things like that.
hey,
Apocalypse
stick with what you know.
He got busted for grifting and went right back to it.
Hey,
Yep.
when you're good, you're good. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? I mean, also, he shouldn't have gotten arrested for having sex with his secretary. I mean,
No,
that's-
he got arrested for stealing money. I mean, like stealing from the till, when they hand out the hat and everybody gives money. I mean, he was pilfering it for gold faucets, and they had a huge house.
I'm assuming they all do that, right? Isn't that's
He was
I
up
mean,
to all kinds of nonsense.
he's like a righteous gemstones kind of guy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Very nice. Okay. So then when you were in the great state of Virginia, which was Richmond was the capital of the Confederacy during the Civil War. Am I correct? Right? Yep, I am. Very good. I'm a genius. I'm a genius.
Yes. And I will say, you can't imagine how many people have argued with me about that. Oh, no, Virginia wasn't Confederate. Yes, it was. It was the capital of the Confederacy.
Yeah.
People don't know history.
Fun fact. When the Confederacy was being made, the Union Army was getting ready to unionize or whatever, come together. And the United States of America asked Robert E. Lee to be the commanding general of the Union Army. And he said no. And his reason is because he could never turn his back on the great state of Virginia, which was his home, and Richmond was the capital. So there you go. I'm a fucking history guy, and yeah, look at me. I'm not vanilla,
Now, when it comes to history.
Yeah. So okay. So did you do public school or Catholic school?
No, public school. But my best friend was in Catholic school, and she got me in all kinds of trouble. She was the worst influence.
Ooh, I mean, is because now I'll say this, and maybe I'm wrong, but Catholic school girls do have a reputation for being hooers, and yeah. Well, okay, so maybe all right. Hey, but they weren't vanilla. I'll tell you that. Last thing they were.
She was not vanilla, and she used to take, because I'm old, so back in the day we used to use the Aquanet hairspray to
25 is not old, Miss Pandora. I don't know what you're
You're trying to be my best friend now.
What? Come on.
So we used to use the Aquanet to put our hair up, right, and tease it up, and she would dump the Aquanet and fill it up with like whiskey
Ooh.
and take it to Catholic school.
Whoa.
in the hairspray container.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'd like to think that the aerosol was still in there somehow, and you could like.
Probably not that good for you.
What? But did she clean out the like? She had to clean out the hairspray first, right?
Nah, you get a little bit in there. It's fine.
Woo.
Not
Dude,
gonna hurt you.
I remember this when we had potato cannons. We would always get an Aquanet because that was the most flammable of the hair. It was like that shit was like crazy flammable. Is that the same stuff we're talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's the same stuff.
So mix that with a little whiskey and that's a good time, right? My gosh. All right.
He
Nice.
ended up like Daffy Duck when he exploded and he was trying to.
I can do this
outdo
trick,
Bugs
but I can
Bunny.
only do it once.
Very nice. So okay. So then you're doing public school, hanging out with a bad influence in Catholic school. And what kind of stuff were you into? Were you like theater?
Drinking.
Just drinking, partying, having a good time?
We would after school when I was in high school, although I got really good grades in high school still, despite, all the partying we did. But
Nice.
I would go over to my Catholic schoolgirl's friend right after school. She lived a few blocks away from me, and we would watch Mr. Rogers and write punk rock songs and drink. We would raid her mom's liquor cabinets. Her mom was an alcoholic. That's what I did in high school.
Okay, so
And punk rock. I was really into punk rock.
I mean, right? It's the
Back
best.
when you didn't get hangovers, you were invincible.
Man,
Oh God,
Where's
no! I
Mr.
got alcohol
Rogers come in
poisoning.
though?
yeah, like you're
I
saying,
ended
like
up at the hospital with alcohol poisoning, and I begged the doctor to tell my mom it was food poisoning, which he did, but he made me promise I would never drink to that extent again.
and did you listen?
I did actually.
Oh, all right, good for you.
Did you have to
See?
get your stomach pumped and like what? Somebody drove you there?
No. I
It
was
wasn't like
just.
that bad. It was just
Yeah, it
way
wasn't
too
as
drunk.
bad as I was vomiting quite a lot, and they had to rehydrate me, so I had to get the IV, do the rehydration thing.
Ooh, yikes! All right. So, but you were still getting good grades and doing all that. With the punk rock? Do you remember any of the songs that you wrote while watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Will
there
you
was
be my
one-
neighbor?
we
Land
used
of
to
make
like
believe.
there were some pretty good thrift stores when I was in high school in Virginia Beach, and this is really bad, but we would shoplift stuff from thrift stores.
I mean, is it
We'd
really
shop-
shoplifting? Like they don't care if you take it, right?
Yeah, it
It's
is people's
still shopping.
secondhand junk. Like it's not like
Yeah.
you're stealing firsthand stuff. You're taking somebody's crap that they were like, I don't want anymore. Let's give this crap to someone else. Maybe they can sell it.
Yeah, it's 100% what it is.
Yeah, but I think it was a goodwill. So we were kind of robbing the poor when we did that. But we wrote a song. I mean, this was well before Macklemore, right? We wrote a song about shopping at the thrift store, but it wasn't pleasant. It was all about like buying thrift store underwear and what's on the thrift store underwear. And it was gross.
Oh my god!
Comes with free skid mark.
Wow. Do you remember the name of the song?
I think it was called thrift store underwear.
Man.
They're like, what's he wearing under there? He's got on thrift store underwear.
Oh my
and
god.
skid marks on the whole thing.
Oh my god. Could you imagine that to a sweet punk rock beat? Is this like punk like Sex Pistols or punk like emo?
Oh yeah, we were way into the Sex Pistols.
All right,
We,
nice.
we loved the Sex Pistols. And in fact, we would go down to the beach and lay out at the beach. And one time this creep was staring at us and he had his hand down his pants. So we just blasted I am an antichrist.
I am an anarchist. Yeah. Great
And the
song.
guy bolted.
Oh, yeah.
So drove
That's a
him
great
away with our
song.
music. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Bethany, you were quite the poet in high school, wasn't that right?
I dabbled in some creative writing and stuff. I definitely wrote a pop song with one of my friends in middle school, but that was pretty much it.
What do you recall the name? Maybe some of the lyrics? Did it have to
I
do
think
with
it
thrift
was
store
called
underwear?
No, I wish it was. I think it was called Circles, but I can't remember the lyrics.
Was it like, girl, you give me circles? Right? Something like along those lines. Shout out in sync.
Yeah, it
Running
was
around
Post
in
Malone before.
circles.
Ooh, man. Oh, you still got the song touch, Miss Pandora, I will say. So, okay. So you're hanging out in high school, your friends drinking hooch out of an Aquanet can. You're writing songs about the thrift store underwear. Everything's going, you're getting good grades. You had to go to the hospital because you drank too much, but then you never drank that much again. You kept your word to the doctor. Shout out to you and shout out to honesty. But okay. But then, so you get through high school, everything's cool. You're punk rocking, killing it. And then did you go to college or university?
Yes, I did.
And what college did you go? Are you comfortable saying?
I went to the University of Virginia, Wahoo Wah.
Whoa! Shout out the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice. Did you have any jobs in high school?
Did I have a job in high school? Oh, yeah, actually.
Great question, Justin.
My significantly older sister was running a catering company with a friend of hers, and my first job was secretary in her office. So
wow.
I worked as a secretary in her office when I was like 16, and I would also work at the parties, and there were a lot of like very wealthy people who would hire her company for parties. So we would cater those parties and hobnob with the rich people of Virginia Beach.
Oh, wow.
Good
cool.
old hobnob.
Hey, gotta love a good hobnob. Hey,
Catering gig too.
My
You can make
favorite
some
type
good,
of knob.
you get some good old tips and stuff. Did you do like a yacht club in Virginia?
Yeah, they do have yacht clubs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
There was the guy who funded the company for them did so because my sister's partner was having an affair with him.
Huh. Are they still together to this day?
No, he got arrested. He was involved. His name was Herman Valentine, and he was involved in some tax evasion scandal and ended up getting arrested many years later.
Oh my God.
God damn it,
Who were we
Herman.
who were we just talking about that was doing the same thing? Shit.
Someone bad.
Yeah. Weren't we just talking about
talking about who was
Someone who doesn't like the drums.
money laundering? The guy who sells buckets for food.
Oh
Jim
yeah, the
Baker.
priest guy. Jim Baker.
Tammy
Yeah,
Faye,
you said
Jim
it,
Baker.
right?
Jim Baker.
Yeah. Thank you, Bethany. Thank you for having a memory and a beautiful face. Thank you.
Comes together.
So, yep, very
That's all I
nice.
got.
So you're doing the secretary gig in high school and all that sweet stuff. Okay. And how did you like it? Was it fun? I mean, how much older is your sister than you?
Almost 16 years.
16 years older than you?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
the
wow.
baby.
How many siblings do you have?
3 sisters and 1 brother, and they're all way older. And I asked my mom one time, was I a mistake? And she said, you all were.
It's funny you mentioned that. My mom said the same thing.
Just
But
one was just made way
I could
later
see
than
that.
the others.
yeah. Justin was a huge mistake, like massive. He's one of 37, and he was the biggest mistake out of all of them. So, but nice.
Busy mom.
I was quite the surprise.
Very busy mom. Now that you mention it.
I know I have 6 brothers, but my mother only had 2 of those kids.
Oh, you're right. Shout out to your
Mother's a
mom.
saint.
Shout out to the meat mule. So okay.
Stab you.
Okay. So you graduate high school, you're working at the catering gimmick, and then you go to Virginia, the University of Virginia, right? And how was that? How was that transition? Like, you're into the punk rock, you've been catering, you're young, you're drinking hooch out of Aquanet. Like, how was life at the University of Virginia?
It was cool because the first week I was there, I met the guy who became my boyfriend for the next 8 years. He was a skater.
Shout out skaters.
Yeah.
Badass.
And he was carrying his board, and I was like, ooh, skater. You know, because I forgot to say, when I was in high school, I was into skaters. I used to go to the ramps in Virginia Beach and
Totally
pick up skater boys.
Right. Of course. No, dude, we smelled that on you from a mile away, Miss Pandora. Come on. We knew. We're like, wait, Sex Pistols, drinking hairspray, like totally into the skateboard scene. Duh. Right?
Yeah.
You know.
Thrasher magazine, the whole thing.
Typical. Yeah. So, okay. So you catch this guy, hitting the boards heavy. riding the rails, rocking the rooster, whatever you call it. And
And he
so
was a punk rocker and he had earrings and all that. And so there were a couple guys who were doing haircuts, punk rock haircuts for $8 in the dorms. So I had the guy cut my hair and I dyed it black and I became a goth. And the guy who cut my hair, his name's, well, he's unfortunately passed away, but his name is David Berman, and he started the band called the Silver Jews and was very involved with the band Pavement.
time the fuck out. The Silver Jews?
Uh-huh.
And I'm just hearing about this band now.
Yeah, and great. I mean, his stuff was great. Really great.
Mazel tov to him, Welcome. Thanks for joining the tribe. Right. Incredible. Man, the Silver Jews. How did we not know of them? God, man.
They're a very indie underground band, but they were associated with Pavement. And so everyone thought that they were a Pavement offshoot. Pavement got pretty big in the 90s, but actually Pavement was more of a Silver Jews offshoot. But David was very, very talented.
You know what they say,
writer,
the Jews always
songwriter.
start everything. Me being one, I always start everything too. So
Yeah.
Hey,
Y'all got it going on.
We start everything.
Hey, not all of us can be chosen. You know what I mean? So
It's only a few of us.
only the few, the proud, the Jew. So, okay. Very nice. Okay. So Miss Pandora. So, you're dating a skater and so when you did a punk rock haircut, what are we talking here? Like a little off the side or mohawk?
No, it was shaved all the way around except for, I'm trying to sort of imitate it, like except for the bangy part.
In the front?
And the bangy part was dyed black. Yeah. And everything
Cool.
else was shaved.
Dude, I was big into chicks who had like crazy haircuts.
I was totally into goth chicks with daddy issues.
I know you're talking the whole
I didn't have daddy issues.
whole
but I was
head
definitely
shaved,
goth.
whole head shaved, just the big bang like in the front, and then you dyed it like pitch black.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the hottest girl on
Fantastic.
campus. Just letting you know.
You're rocking Janko jeans.
Oh man,
No, this was before Janko's, guys.
Doc
Doing like,
Martens.
late-
Doc
late-
Martens.
Corduroy.
Later were Jankos, but now was Doc Martens and
Yeah.
flannel
Docs
shirts.
for sure.
Yeah, we're
Had the
talking
Doc
like
Martens, and
SLC
you wear
punk
the
days.
frilly dress,
Right.
frilly dress with the Doc Martens and the Susie eye makeup.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. Big fan. Flannel anywhere?
My boyfriend wore flannel.
Right.
He was big into flannel.
Right.
I
when
at
you
one point
skateboarding.
let my hair get really dreaded, so I had these long black dreadlocks.
Wow.
Is
Incredible.
that so? You shaved off the dreadlocks and went to the bang?
Yeah, eventually I did have to shave the dread
because
because you
they got
can't.
so locked up and they were.
Oh God, it got so locked up.
Just...
Wow. I mean, incredible. So, okay, nice. Very good. So you go through, did you end up graduating?
Yes,
Okay. And what was your major?
sociology.
Duh. Should have known that.
So
Right.
marketable.
Yeah, obviously. So, okay. So you graduate college, you're still with your skater boyfriend. You have the best hair. What was life like for you after you left college?
We moved in together in the capital of the Confederacy, actually, because he was from Richmond. So we lived there
Richmond, Virginia.
in Richmond, and we hung out with the punk rockers in the fan. Saw some pretty good bands back in those days. The Ramones. I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers when they were first starting out. They did a free concert in Schaefer Court in the fan near VCU.
Whoa, that's badass. Nice.
Yeah, lots of punk bands, 7 Seconds, Circle Jerks,
Duh.
Psychic TV. If anyone's familiar with Psychic TV, they were sort of
Yeah.
acid house.
Me and Justin were in Circle Jerks.
I've heard of the
I
circle jerk.
bet.
Yeah,
That's
not
I
TMI.
asked to
though.
join.
Don't want to
Oh.
know about that.
Hold on, Oliver, you cut out. What did you say, bud?
Well, the joke was there. I said I asked to join, but you told me no.
Hey, well, we're starting the band up again. So when the Circle Jerks come back, Oliver, you're gonna be our number one guy. You know,
I'll be the Oreo guy. I'm ready. Let's
you
go.
you play that rusty trombone still, right, babe?
I
Hey,
do.
hey.
I
All
do.
right, I'm not vanilla. You know,
Well,
I know
the
that
same.
stuff.
You know, all
talk
that
about
stuff.
headlining a show.
Ooh, I like
Let
that.
Nice. Okay. So you move in with your skater boyfriend in Richmond, Virginia, former capital of the Confederacy, and you're there. You're going to like punk rock shows. Are you still working for your sister's catering business?
Wait, I just have to ask, is this is your life? Because I'm going to say you got a long way to go before you get to the part where I started doing the real interesting stuff.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, we can jump to then. And actually, this is a great segue to jump to everyone's new favorite segment. It's J-Dub's questions, asking some questions. J-Dub's questions, a new favorite segment. J-Dub's questions segment. So, Miss Pandora, Justin
You should be
here.
a singer, Matt. You
I
really
mean,
should.
when you do it like that, aren't I already one? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you are. You're right.
You know,
I want an album.
It's called Raw Talent, and it's just it's
And
oozing
And I
out of
don't
me.
got it.
Hey, you're
No
chock
auto
full of it.
tune.
Before
Not
we
for
get
this
to
guy.
the good stuff, I'm gonna ask you a bunch of random questions.
Yeah. So once we're done with the random questions, we're gonna get hot and heavy into the heavy hitting and the hot stuff, and it's gonna be great. So J-Dub, take it away.
Have you ever broken a bone?
No.
Nice. Have you ever had a cavity?
Yes.
Okay. What's the last thing you stole?
That necklace from the thrift store when I was in high school.
Stop stealing after high school. For $3 million, would you cut off one of your fingers? Straight cash. you
Yes,
don't have to pay
because someone
taxes
will
on
make
it.
a fetish of it.
Oh
Of the
my
finger?
god. What, 9-finger fetish? The 9-finger fetish? There's a market for that?
Amputated finger.
What finger would you pick? You'd get
the one I
pinky?
just pushed down on my pinky.
I see. I think you
So
go
for
ring
those
finger.
listening, that would be the pinky on your left hand. Is that right?
Oh yeah, it better be a left hand
Yeah.
Right.
because I'm
You gotta go-
right-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could have a famous pallbearer, who would you pick?
Paul McCartney.
Cool.
Maybe the Paul McCartney bearer. Paul Bear. Paul
Oh.
McCartney.
Oh, that is hilarious.
I'm so sad
Isn't
she's
that
gone.
funny?
I'm Paul McCartney. Hello.
I just
everyone.
met her yesterday.
And
She
she
said she needed some help to be a pallbearer.
If you could have box seats, season tickets to any one of the 4 major sports in Philly, which one would you pick? I guess you're from
Hockey.
Virginia, so whatever.
Hockey.
You're big
Go with
into
hockey?
hockey?
I like hockey.
Who's your home hockey team?
Well, I lived in LA for a long time, so Kings.
You go to the LA Kings.
Whoa.
Okay. All right. Have you ever shit your pants as an adult?
She is a fucking lady, Justin. She is a lady.
I
I kind of want to know the answer to this one.
The list doesn't discriminate.
I have to be honest, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I had the flu. I was really sick. I was really, really sick.
Were
And
you
my
in public?
boyfriend was taking care of me. And I was like in the bathroom crying. I was like, I pooped my pants. And he
I
took
will-
care of me.
I will say this. I mean, I don't know if I'm a jerk, but if we have to say words I hate the most, and it's nothing against you, Miss Pandora, because you're incredible. But I just don't know what it is, guys. I fucking hate the word poop. I fucking hate it. I'd rather have my 3-year-old daughter say shit bucket 100 times before she said poop. Probably a million times, because I just hate the fucking word. It's a white people word. You know what I'm saying? I fucking hate it. I don't know. I'm allowed to hate it
A
though.
white people word.
You hate your own
Don't
work.
poop on my
You know,
parade.
Would you rather be a coal miner or one of those like 1930s skyscraper guys? You know,
Ooh.
like you see, like sitting on the beams, like eating
Oh,
their
like the
lunch.
scaffolding eating the lunch
Yeah.
thing? Yeah.
I'd rather do that. But honestly, I'm so short, they probably would have made me into a chimney sweeps assistant
How
in the Victorian era.
how short we talking, Miss Pandora? Because
Oh,
I'm 5'11", so I'm pretty tall. So if you're, what is it, 5'1"?
I'm 11 inches shorter than you.
Oh my gosh, golly!
Yeah,
On a-
really,
on a
you're
good
10
day.
You're 10 inches shorter than him.
I'm 5'11", and everybody knows it. Justin, hey guys, just so you know, May 11th is Matt Lavelle Day.
because
Spread-
it's 5'11.
Bethany thought of that. FYI, thank you, Bethany. You're a gem. You're an absolute gem. Okay, Justin, I interrupted you. I'm so sorry, and please forgive me. Continue.
Would you rather be pepper sprayed or tased?
Tased.
What about you, Oliver?
I'll take tased as well. Pepper
Same.
sprayed, I think.
Quicker.
It's
I
gonna
feel-
really hurt.
Yeah,
in the
I
long
feel
run.
like tasing is like a and then you're done. Pepper spray, that
Yeah.
shit's lasting for hours.
For hours.
And you got
Ugh.
to pour that water in your eyes and try to get. No, I'm good. To tase
Yeah.
my ass.
I would not like to be pepper sprayed.
Do you have any questions for me?
Who is your favorite comedian
Ooh, great
Ooh,
question.
Of
of the
all
entire
time,
planet of
it's-
all time?
probably either it might be Patrice O'Neill.
Who?
Okay.
Patrice O'Neill. It might be Bernie Mac, might be Patrice O'Neill. I don't know. It's probably somebody dead, because like in memoriam, you can judge them.
What about
better.
a comedian you've seen live?
I've seen Joey Diaz live the most, and he's my favorite alive comedian.
Yeah.
And if you don't know who either of them are, just Google them because they're fantastic and they say wild shit. And it's
I mean,
fantastic.
R.I.P. Patrice and Bernie. R.I.P.
Bernie, yeah, Bernie's fantastic.
Dude, I remember Pete, shout out Pete McCormick, former guest of the show, former co-host of the show, fan of the show, listener of the show. He went to a Patrice O'Neill show on a date, and he was late, and he had to sit up front. And Pete he's the most handsome son of a bitch. And he's a little taller than me. He's 6'3". I'm 5'11". He's 6'3". But again, I'm 5'11". And
Sure.
he was like sitting up front, and he's a big guy. And I don't know if this is but his date was she was a very shapely woman. And I think he said something to the fact like, you two must be looking like two walruses fucking, or something along those lines. It was great. Shout out Patrice O'Neill, fan of the show, listener of the show.
Yeah,
All right. So that was another rousing segment of jdub's questions, asking some questions. For anyone that wants to send in some questions, you can send it to us at workingppod on the Twitter, or you can email us at workperspectives@gmail.com with some questions. So Justin asked some better questions. So let's do it. All right. Very nice. So let's keep it on moving down the road. So before we get into the hot and the heavy, I do want to say that Miss Pandora is here because the one and only Oliver Assiran was able to get us this great interview. So before we do that, Oliver, how did you and Miss Pandora meet?
Miss Pandora and I met at an acting class. I had decided to pursue one of my lifelong passions again after taking a long break and go back to acting class. And when I was in acting class, I saw this girl who I thought was cool. And we became friends pretty quickly. And I can say since that was probably 10 years, well, it was 10 years ago. So right when my daughter was born. And we have talked pretty much every week since then, give or take a week or two here and there. And, a fight here and there, or, squabble.
Sure.
But
Squabble.
she's become one of my best friends in the world. And that's how we met.
Awesome. Very cool.
Awesome.
I mean, I would agree, and I think everyone listening will agree as well. So, but Miss Pandora, we want to get into the hot and heavy stuff. So the reason we are calling you Miss Pandora is because it's your name, and is because you are a dominatrix, femdom, and fetish model. Is that right? Did I get all those right?
Yes.
Yes. So
And Cam Star. Don't forget
ooh,
that.
shout
Cam girl.
out. Shout out to the Cams. Nice. All right. So we were talking about some boring shit earlier, Capital of Confederacy, skateboarding, punk rock, whatever. But we want to get into the hot heavy stuff. So let's really comb through this, right? When did you start being a dominatrix? And then when did you start and how did you get into it? Take it away.
All right. I started with the modeling first.
The fetish modeling?
Just modeling in general.
Okay.
And I'll explain how I got into fetish. But it was 2008. I was working for a technology company doing web stuff, web design, internet marketing.
Incredible.
And I got laid off during the recession.
Oh, wow.
And I was living in Los Angeles and I had just purchased a condo. So to figure out how I was going to pay my bills, which is always fun when you get laid off.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Makes life exciting.
And I had a friend who said, "Why don't you start modeling?" I said,
That's
"What?
what I would have told you.
I'm 5 feet tall. I'm thinking fashion modeling. That's not going to happen." He said, "No, not talking about fashion modeling, but there's all kinds of alternative modeling. There's glamour, there's pinup, there's fetish." And I was, what? Now, I've always been very open-minded and experimental and all that in my relationships. So it's not like I wasn't aware of kink, but I just didn't know you could get paid to do it.
Mm.
So I paid a photographer to take some pictures of me, and then I put them up on Model Mayhem. And I advertised myself as doing what they called back then, like trade for print, TFP, which you don't print anymore. It's all digital, but they still use that term. And I got a lot of photographers who were willing to work with me and sort of teach me the ropes. So then I started getting paid to model, and I had a woman who was around my age. Like we befriended each other, and we would refer each other to different photographers. And she said, "Oh, there's this guy you have to work with. His name is Dominic Wolf, and he's in Palm Springs, and he pays really well." And I was like, "Oh, okay, great. Hook me up." She's like, "Something I gotta tell you though, he shoots bondage." I was like, "He shoots what?" "He ties you up." He ties you up. And I was like, "Oh, I'm not going there by myself." So she went with me, and Dominic Wolf, who's actually a pretty famous bondage producer, he had a condo out in Palm Springs, and we stayed the weekend there, and I shot with him. Geez, it was like 8 hours for 2 days. And he was dating a fetish model whose name was Gina Ray. She's still around. Actually, she still models. She still works. And we shot all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, there was some acting involved in it because you have to kind of improvise. They would give me a character that I had to portray with a script. One of the sketches or whatever we did was I'm selling something on Craigslist, and she shows up to buy what I'm selling, but instead she ends up stealing it and tying me up and leaving me on the floor tied up. This is this damsel in distress.
So, okay.
Scenarios.
So let's unpack this a little bit, right? So you're aware of the fetish bondage, right? Your friend's like, "Look, it's good money. He's just going to tie you up. You're going to do whatever," right? So when you're going to the shoot initially, were you a little nervous? Like, did you have any nerves going?
Of course.
Yeah. Were you nervous, but still kind of excited with like at the idea of like, "Oh, this is going to be fun and kinky and whatever." Or were you just like,
No.
"Let me just get this fucking paycheck"?
I just wanted the money.
Yeah. So, okay. So you go there, right? What is it like when you get there? Is it like a skeezy? Because I remember when we had Adrena Winters on the show, she said sometimes that like, like they can be, because it has like a stigma. And this is one of those things that would have a stigma of like being like low rent and skeezy because it's like a kink shoot, right? You know what I mean? Like, if it's a if it's a movie production and all you have is a camera and like one grip, they say that's an independent. You know what I mean? But if you were to be a porno and you're shooting that and it's one guy with a camera and one grip, they'd be like, "This is just sleazy scumbag horror stuff," right? When it's the same thing. So I think in those scenarios, from what she described, is sometimes that the porno shoots can go over the top production wise, just so it gives them a level of professionalism that doesn't identify them as a skeezy porno shoot. So when you got to this kink shoot, was it more of like, was it something like a higher level of professionalism, or did you get there and you were just like, "God damn, this looks bad, but let me just get fucking paid and get out of here"? Like, what was your thought?
Neither really. I mean, it wasn't like a high-end shoot with a lot of crew or anything. I believe it was really just him. Maybe he had an assistant. That's the thing. And I've been doing this for so long now that I'm used to the fetish productions being very sort of gonzo, and it's people shooting out of their basements. I mean, they have very nice houses that they shoot out of their home. And it's not that the people aren't making a lot of money, but you really don't have to have the high-end production anymore because
Yes.
an iPhone 14 shoots really great video.
Yeah.
In fact, I just did my bread and butter now is I shoot these custom videos for people.
Ooh.
They give me scripts. They give me specific instructions. Okay, you wear this. The other model wears that. Sometimes they even give me dialogue that I have to repeat. And so my friend was helping me and another model shoot, and he just shot everything on his iPhone.
Shut the fuck. That's incredible. And the pictures were
Looks great.
clear, super wow. And
This
so
was video, but yeah.
I will say, as a friend of someone who does this, when you get a phone call and they're like, "Hey, how do you think I should shoot XYZ? This person wants to watch me pee or something, whatever it is," and she'll ask me like, "What do you think the best way to film that is?" I'm like, "Well,
Lighting
let's
from
break
above.
that down." And
Wait a second. Wait a second, Oliver. You've forgotten all the details. I had
I left those out on purpose.
yeah, but they're so great. The details on this one are really great. And I get to use
They
my
are.
favorite word again.
Yes, poop.
I would love to do this.
Here we
So-
go, Matty.
just ruined it for me. Ugh. I'm
This
kidding.
was a custom client who was blind, and all he wanted was an audio recording of pooping. And so I called Oliver asking his advice. I said, "Look, I'm not gonna really do this. What do you think I could drop in the toilet that would
I hope he doesn't listen to this. You'll ruin it for him.
We came up with all sorts of
Fan of
things.
the show,
I mean,
listener of
we
the show.
were like-
Fan of the
My-
show.
I was like
Rollerball.
batteries,
Yeah, what did we end up using?
cucumbers.
Pudding.
Oh my god.
Well, it's funny that you asked that because that was my first question. Does he want hard or soft poop?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Funny that you ask about that because I was
We
like,
just
well, if
start
we're,
calling it shit, please. Ah.
if we're talking about hard shit like batteries or cucumbers would be great. If he wants like the diarrhea sounding effect of that, we could get like water, like SpaghettiOs
Yeah,
or
you
something
could-
like
you
that.
should,
Do
like,
you
Yeah.
need
squirt-
corn kernels?
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
really?
Do you want to squirt like a ketchup bottle into the thing? So it's like, That's
Oh.
incredible. Wow. I mean,
I'm
What
sorry,
if-
I'm
what
getting
if-
crazy.
what if you had like really acute hearing and you were to drop a battery in there and you'd hear like a clink when it hit, and he'd be like, "God, you got a lot of iron in your diet,"
You might
But-
need to see a doctor.
Yeah.
That sounded like a Duracell
He's like,
AAA.
"Look, I've heard a lot of shit before, but that shit sounds like you need to see a doctor." So, okay. All right. So, hold on. Let's get back to the original shoot and we'll talk about the shit shoot in a little bit.
Well, is
But
it inappropriate to ask how much do you get to pretend shit for someone?
well, hold on. Hey, so first off, where can
Don't pretend
someone
shit for people.
where can someone contact you if they want you to shit for them?
Well, I was going to give you my the domain name that goes straight to my clip store because I believe there is a contact link there, but it's ondemandfetish.com.
Oh, perfect. So we'll have a link in the description for that and for Miss Pandora, wherever you want to find her, for sure. So for all
And
you guys out there,
And I'm
and we
also on
know
I'm sorry, I was just gonna say I'm also on Instagram. It's this is my third Instagram account because I keep getting banned, but it's sexy Miss Pandora 3.
nice.
All
All right. And are you on Twitter also?
Yeah, it's Hot Pandora, but I might be off of there soon. I don't know. It's such a
Well,
close
I mean,
yeah.
either way, we'll have links in the description of this episode. So for everyone that wants to check it out, please do. I highly recommend it. I mean, if you like watching 25-year-olds take a shit, we got you, So there you go. Nice.
Look,
Okay.
you're already my best friend. You're already my best friend. You don't have to keep sucking up to me.
If you want to
Wow.
watch me take a shit, you can reach out to the Working Perspective podcast on any of our links.
Justin, don't
J-Dub. All right,
do-
how much do I have to pay you?
do not write a check.
Dude, I'll come
you are
pretty
not
cheap.
Do not write a check you are not willing to cash, because
Oh.
if someone contacts me and they're willing to pay for you to shit, you're gonna fucking shit. You understand?
I take one every morning. I'll send you a picture of it. I'll record the audio of it, whatever you like.
What if
Because
you had to tell your girlfriend, who is way too good for you already?
She would love that I am got a side hustle, just doing what I
She's
love.
like, babe, I got a second source of income.
Daddy's
He's a
bringing home the
manure
bacon
entrepreneur.
by getting rid of the bacon.
Oh,
Go, Bethany.
Love
That's
it.
good.
Oh, Bethany, you fucking dime dropping son of a bitch. That was incredible. Oh my God, that was great. Wow. Fucking dynamite dropping of the year. Woo, woo. Guys, we're going on a ride tonight. Like, let's be honest. This is incredible. So, okay. Shout out to Bethany, fan of the show, listener of the show. All right. So you did your first shoot. This was kind of your intro into the femdom kink, right? So what would happen to transition to where you are now? And also, if I can ask, is this your full-time job?
For the most part.
Wow. So you can like have a living on this. That's awesome. So proud. Like, you should be very proud of that. I know it's like, but like it's betting on yourself and knowing your worth and like creating your own content, and it's stuff that you can manufacture and come to life, and people are willing to like seek you out and purchase that. That is like, it is, people think anyone can do that, and they're so wrong. It is so goddamn tough. We're like, by the time this airs, we'll have had 200 episodes, and like I couldn't pay to have someone pay to fucking give a shit about, like it's so, it's.
Can I say, Matt?
Yeah.
Like, look, Miss Pandora does lots of other things. We work together on film projects and things like that. But more so, what impressed me when I first met her, and it still impresses me today, is that she's taken that, and you hear about like the downside of pornography or fetish modeling or anything like that, whatever you want to call it. And that there's these girls who ended up addicted to crack and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, she buys a house and has a couple like it is not just her job, it's a business, and she's turned it into a business that makes her very successful and is able to live a very good life based on that business. So not everybody could do that, and it's always something that I really admired about it. So.
Good, dude.
Thanks.
You're fucking awesome, dude. No, you're
He's the best.
Yeah, and you should be, Miss Pandora, you should be very proud of that. Like, exactly what he's saying. A lot of people could go to the wrong way with doing this shit, but you're a businesswoman, and you're like-minded, and so awesome. That is awesome. I'm so freaking, so proud. Like, this is
Gosh,
great job.
Guys.
Great job.
Thanks. I'm just like, oh my God, this is really nice. Thank you.
No, you should be, and you have an OnlyFans as well. So if someone's interested in that, there'll be a link in. I think there's a link on your. If I remember when I did the research, there's a link on your Instagram for the OnlyFans. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a link on the on the Instagram for the OnlyFans. So for everyone listening, if you want to check out the one and the only Miss Pandora, just knock yourself out. But
now,
okay.
I do want to add something though. I mean, there's the whole porn stereotype about women in porn maybe being on drugs, having daddy issues, that kind of thing. And there is a little overlap between porn and fetish. Like, as an example, one of my really good friends that I met through doing this work is Caroline Pierce. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She's more AV.
I am very fucking familiar with Caroline Pierce. Fan of the show, listener of the show. Talk about a back poach, baby. I'm a massive fan. And honestly, I feel like I discovered her like early doors. You know what I'm saying? So just saying, I've known Caroline Pierce,
Sorry.
We've been intimate for a while.
Well, then you know what an awesome person she is. She's very smart. She's kind of a nerd. She loves comic books and Star Wars and stuff like that. She's very intelligent and really just has her shit together. And I found most of the models I've worked with have been like that, because if you don't carry your weight, I mean, I actually run a Facebook group that is all models. We're all alternative models, fetish models, and we look out for each other because it's kind of an underground economy sort of job. And so there's no like licensing of photographers. Like I said, these are guys that may be shooting you in their basement. And some of them, let's be honest, they shoot the stuff because they're into it.
Yeah.
It's their kink, it's their fetish, but they're willing to pay you to do it. And so there's a fine line between, yes, you are doing this for money, but you're also doing it because, you know, you get off on it. You're probably going to get off on it later after, but just don't do it at the shoot. So, and there are creeps, just like there are in creeps in porn, there are creepy photographers and producers in fetish, but we call them out to each other.
So you're kind of like
you find certain people with their specialty. So like, you know, you'll do this. I don't want to do this, but also, oh, this guy is a creep, so be careful. Oh, this, you know, I can't do this shoot because I'm not into vomiting, but
I know
guy is cool because I've had the director before.
Well, but you'll be like, hey, I'm not into, you know, this, but I know, you know, blah 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 is, and I'll put you in contact with her. So it's almost like a highway of, hey, we can find what you need, almost, you know, like
yeah, exactly. And where I live, I'm really good friends with several producers. So when models, there are a lot of models that tour. I don't tour extensively, but I do. I go to Florida every once in a while. I work with a site called Jennery's Kink Adventures. They are awesome. I would do anything for them because they're so great. Aww. It's two women who run. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of women that run these stores and run their own businesses. It's pretty common.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty common in this industry. And so when I was working for a lot of other producers, I started to get the idea, you know what? I need to start my own store. Owning the content is where it's at.
Yeah.
Because you can repurpose it in so many different stores. I mean, you have Clips for Sale, Kink Bomb, Many Vids. I mean, there's just, when I first started doing this in about 2009, there weren't as many opportunities to make money, but it's just exploded with OnlyFans and then Sex Panther. You can actually text people for money. And then I got into doing the real-time sessions. I was working out of a dungeon for a while. And so, I got into doing video editing, freelance video editing for people.
And it put the power where it belonged now, like in the actual performers and the people, versus it got dark in the, you know, those late 90s before the internet explosion of like people were controlled by the access to the medium. You know, there's only one person, you needed a camera and someone to edit it, but now it's, you go live, it's you, and
there's not as many gatekeepers either. Yeah,
and it's not as much money to start a business as it would have been back then when you had to buy the really expensive cameras and stuff, and film.
No, you're 100% right. No, and dude, and it's, I mean, you know, it's like there is still parts of it that can be bad, but I think people, and it's like you're saying, where it's people like on this thing, you'll be like, hey, it was at this shoot, guys are a total creep, avoid this guy, and don't work. This guy was a total jerk. You know what I mean? So you guys are also looking out for each other, and it's in a way you're weeding out the jabronis and the creeps and that, like, you know, I think that's a great thing because you're looking out for each other, and it's, you know, it's good for society as a whole because no one wants these creeps. Bethany, you are, you know, just a stunning, incredible, beautiful woman. Have you ever thought of jumping into the fetish femdom? And let me say this right now, I know $1 million feet when I see them. So just saying, I can find some feet. And if I find some feet, I'm going to put them out there and I'm going to make some money. Have you done that, Miss Pandora? The feet?
Oh, yes. And in fact, my feet are in the Wikipedia of feet.
Wiki feet.
Wiki feet. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed. That's awesome.
I mean, I cannot wait to check
really?
it out.
Miss Bethany, I thought I saw your feet next to hers. I'm sorry, never mind.
These are silver dollar feet, definitely not $1 million feet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Couple buffalo nickels.
No wonder I saw them, because that's what I'm into, silver dollar feet.
Hey, you and me both, babe. You know, come on.
Are you into
dollar
feet?
Store feet, Oliver.
But I mean, feet stuff is something you certainly
Look.
can talk about, right?
Look. So I'll say this: do I want to get whacked off by feet? No, I don't. Right? I don't. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again: I don't. Right? But when Margot Robbie showed her feet in the fucking Hollywood movie, I was disappointed, and it hurt her for me. Right? And feet play a role. I'm just saying, you can't have some fucking whack-a-mole troll feet if you're a girl. You got to have good feet, guys. No one should see your feet regardless, right? I don't know what we're fucking doing, guys, right? Guy, if you're a woman, you shouldn't want to see your guy's feet.
Sorry,
right?
Justin, I won't show you my feet anymore.
Yeah, because Matt said no.
I know.
If you guys are wearing thong flip-flops, then you're in the wrong world. You know what I'm saying?
But Miss Pandora has a very, I mean, you should tell the story about feet.
God, is it more shit feet? Is it shit and feet? Is it a shit feet story?
It wouldn't surprise me if shit came out during these things. But there are people who like feet to an extent that even when I first heard about this, I was like, wait, what? This actually happens?
Like violent feet.
And funny enough, well, I won't go into all that, but she was telling me about this, and I just was like, I can't believe this actually exists. And there are people she knew that do this for a living, and it's as well. And you have joined in. I'm spewing too much. Go ahead.
Which part are you talking
I'm talking about
Is
that
this
trampling thing that you were
I was
talking
gonna
about.
say, is this
trampoline?
Oh my God, trampoline!
Been waiting on bated breath to know what trampling is.
It's like trampolines, but not.
No, you walk all over someone. You walk on their face. There was a guy that I worked with who was a
Not just
producer
face.
who wanted me to walk on his throat,
Oh,
trample his throat.
with bare feet.
is there paperwork that has to
Bare
get signed
feet.
first?
Yeah, do you have
But
to? Is there a waiver?
Oh, saying that if I kill him, I won't get
Yeah,
away.
like if you break his nose, like you're not responsible for his medical issues.
I signed a model release.
Is there like a like for payment? Is it like
How
half
do you
up
walk
front,
in-
half when it's done, kind of thing, or like paying full up front? Like how does that work? Well, I guess you don't have to get into that. That was a bad question. Sorry. So
if it's an in-person shoot, I get paid once the shoot is done. If it's a session, at the dungeon where I used to work, we did sessions much like, I guess, if you were paying for a prostitute, even though we weren't
Like a
prostitutes.
massage
where
parlor, like you
you
pay.
don't touch the money. He puts the money on the table and leaves the money on the table. And then you pick up the money when the session's over after he leaves. That was
what?
just what we did.
So there's a dungeon.
It closed down during the pandemic, unfortunately.
We lost a lot of good dungeons during the pandemic. Yeah,
I know, it's a bummer.
yeah.
But not even just bare feet. There are shoes that go along with this.
Wait, okay. Whoa.
High
Right.
heel.
Blowing
because
this
you're
vanilla
talking
boy's
about
mind,
he's
right?
talking about someone else.
Yeah,
Someone
you know where I'm
else.
going with this.
I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
Bethany, you are so right. I feel really vanilla right now when we're talking trampling.
I feel vanilla during this.
I'm fucking ice baby vanilla ice right now.
You and me both. I'll say that when I heard about this, I went, yeah, I'm as vanilla as vanilla ice. I'm good.
Yeah.
I
If
will.
I was
I'll stay that way.
If I was a dominatrix and on my schedule popped up a good old fashioned trampling session, I get fired up, start getting limber.
So okay.
Could do some walking on some people.
So okay, hold on. Let's Miss Pandora, we need to unhatch this. Okay. Let's start with just the bare feet. Okay. So this guy comes up to you. He's like, look, I'm into trampling. I want to get trampled. Okay. I'm a barefoot trampler guy. Okay. How does that go? Do you have to be like, okay, where do you want me to trample? How long do you want me to trample? How hard do you want me to trample? Like, is all that? Yes.
Yes, because anytime you're dominating someone, it's very important in the beginning to ask them what are the off limit, what are the no parts of their body. Do they have any pre-existing injuries? What are the parts that they really want you to? I mean, the guy who had me step on his throat, here's the thing. You see the stereotype of the professional dominatrix on TV and the movies. It's like this shit-kicking woman all in black, and she just wants to beat people. That is not me.
Oh.
That is not me. I am a sensual dom. So for me, it's, if you want me to beat you, I will, but only because you're into it, not because I like beating people. I'm very much a pacifist. I love animals, cats especially. So to walk on someone's throat was very difficult for me.
I mean, not too difficult because you did it, you know.
It's very rational. It's a very rational reaction to that request.
So okay.
So I wanted to ask before we get to what if you had to say no to, yo? Like, what was too crazy that you're like, no, yo?
Well, hold on. Can we finish the trampling and then okay. So you walk in, you see like, you know, Gimpy Jerry or whatever the hell we're gonna call him. Be like, hey, Gimpy Jerry, what's your no pots? And he said, do not step on my calves. All right, just leave my calves alone. Everywhere else, fucking trample me like I'm fucking Mufasa. Okay. So you get on there. yeah. I was a delayed hit on a couple of you, but trample like you fucking Mufasa. Yeah. So because Mufasa gets trampled. Spoiler. So okay. So then you just step on there and he's like, is he ever gonna be like, trample me harder? You know, and then you're just like, wow.
Yeah. When you're trampling, it's good to start on the flat part between the chest and the stomach. That's your base.
Like the
sternum? That is home base.
Okay, yeah.
Home base. And you keep coming back to there, but then you will very carefully, you know, walk maybe on his throat if he wants it, on his face. You're sort of balancing yourself on the flat part of his chest, but you take your leg and your foot and you place it on the face, and you know, you kind of massage it.
Do they want to be trampled on their stuff too?
Like, oh yes.
Oh.
And that's when you're trampling like an AT-AT on Hoth. Like, you know, it's a different type of tramp.
Yeah. And then you're saying there's guys that want to be trampled while you're wearing like stilettos, like stiletto heels. Those guys are fucking, I mean, God bless them. So, okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's what
Why
I
do
saw.
you think we have belly buttons? That feels like an honestly
just like a hole in one right there. Yeah, man. So I mean, we've run over this trampling thing. We just walked all over it. We kind of beat it to death. You know, we really ran a marathon with this trampling thing, if you know what I mean. So either way, like Justin was saying, which was a great question. Sorry I interrupted you, Justin. But Justin wanted to know, Miss Pandora, what is some of the stuff that you've had to say, not happening, not in my dojo. So go ahead.
Well, two things really. I get asked a lot if I will do smoking. There are guys who like you to like blow smoke in their face, or
that's like some serious grandmom fetish right there. Like my grandma smoked a pack of Palmas fucking every day. You know, that's, I mean, come on.
The mistress of the dungeon where I used to session,
Ooh.
She had a client who wanted the cigarettes put out on his body.
Oh God. What is he? Goodwill Hunting? Jesus Christ.
It gets worse. It gets worse. She'd flick the ashes in his mouth on his tongue.
Oh my God. This guy didn't have any parents.
Because a garbage kid.
Jesus Christ.
Treat me like a human ashtray.
Treat me like
It's
the little.
been a while since I've heard your stories. And I'm like, yeah, that one's bad.
Cigarette, getting a cigarette.
Human ashtray, exactly. Human ashtray.
Oh my God. That's incredible. I mean, wow.
The other thing I do not do is, and this will seem strange because, yes, I would get tied up. I have been spanked. I have been flogged. Mostly.
Wait, you let guys, you let people do.
I dated a guy for a while that we used to go to kink parties together, and I let him flog me and all kinds of things. But that's all fine. But I once did because I marketed myself as a switch for a while. So I would submit to people, but they had to have a lot of references, and I charged a lot for that. And I had a guy do verbal humiliation with me once. I'll never do that again. That was way worse than anything I've ever done as a sub, whether it be flogging, spanking, anything pain oriented, being tied up and tickled, tortured. I will take all of those things over verbal humiliation.
Wait,
anyway.
What the fuck?
Just being mean.
Yeah,
like,
what is that?
Like them saying like they're like, you're 5 feet tall, blah, like just making fun of you?
Or just
your hair's red and I like blondes. Is that what, like, stuff like that?
No. Okay, when I do verbal humiliation as a dom, it's usually from a sort of goddess perspective. Oh, goddess, you're so much better than I am. I'm just a worm underneath your feet. Yes, you are. You're a little worm. All you're good for is to service me and lick my feet and lick my toilet, that sort of thing. But his verbal humiliation was really insidious. He wanted to do a role play where I was his girlfriend, and I think he wanted to get a girlfriend back.
This dude.
Wow. So he would say shit to you that he really wanted to say to his girlfriend.
Oh.
So he'd be like, I hate when you put salt in the eggs, you bitch. Yeah. Oh my God. And your mother, I can't stand it. He's like, oh my God, that's crazy, man. So out of all the shit, the verbal's the worst.
For me, it was. That was when no more, not doing
I
that.
can see that.
Again.
I mean, on an emotional level, I could 100% see that for sure.
Yeah, there's no pleasure derived. I mean, look, the tickling sounds awful, but for a little bit, it'd be fun.
Right. And
it's kind of, I just remember when I first started doing the whole realm of that, I went down to Florida. Someone told me, go to Florida. That's where all the fetish producers are. And I got a really quick education within a week of just shooting with a bunch of people. And this one producer, tied me up and tickled me. And I was getting $80 an hour. And I was like, I can't believe I'm getting paid for this.
Wow.
Dude, fantastic. What if, like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to leave that shoot and just be like, did I just get paid $80 an hour to get tickled?
Exactly.
What a day. Get a little ice cream on my way home and
this was a tough day, but still, I mean, this wasn't bad. No, that's awesome. That's great. So, okay. Wow. Oy vey. So, okay. Okay. So let's keep it moving then. So, have you ever ended up dating someone that you met through the dominatrix?
How do you define dating?
Well, I guess maybe you have someone that comes over and they have a fetish, and then you end up being like, oh, this guy's actually kind of all right. And then maybe you hook up or something. You know what I mean?
There is one guy, I will say in about 10 years of doing this, there's really only been one or two. I mean, it's really guys, it's mostly older, not
find
very
it's a lot of married men.
Yes, quite a few married men. I like to look at it as I'm kind of saving their marriage in a way because
it's an outlet.
Right, sure.
You guys, you talk about foot fetishes. It's really common, right? It's the most common fetish. It's the most sort of innocuous fetish. And I had clients come in wanting to do foot sessions who said, oh God, I'm so glad that I have you to do this with, because my girlfriend, when I asked her if she would try it, she treated me like I was a freak.
Oh, I see.
So a lot of times these people are used to being looked down upon for their kinks, and they come to the dungeon and we accept them, and we, are willing to provide what they want and what they need without any judgment. And I can't tell you how many times I've had a client ask me, is this normal? Is this the weirdest thing you've ever seen? I mean, I've had everything from adult babies to cross dressers to, people who wanted to be tied up and spanked. And so many of them ask me, am I a weirdo for liking this? Is this the weirdest thing you've ever seen in here? And I was like, no, absolutely not. And you are not a weirdo. It's very common. So I think there's kind of a therapeutic part of the pro dom thing where they just want to feel accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Accepted
they
for
live this-
liking what they like. Right.
This life of like
Exactly.
taboo, you know, you think you're the only one, and you find out you're like, no, it's not that weird, and you're not that weird.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if you want to wear a diaper and be treated like a baby, it's a little weird, but
Listen, don't
I've
judge
had clients
everybody.
like
You
that.
know, I mean, some people like that. You know, so
But
I've
yeah.
heard.
But back to your question. So it is mostly guys, I would say, that are not that attractive, older men.
Yeah,
married
guys that
men.
have to pay for sex. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not sex. It's kink.
right.
you know,
Right.
and
Guys that
there's
have to
not.
pay
If I
for.
was having sex with them, I would be an escort, and I don't want to do anything illegal. So
Right.
it's just, as a pro dom, you don't degrade yourself by having sex with the clients. Usually, you know.
Yeah. Why would you have
Because
sex
you're
with
the
those
goddess, right?
Yeah. With those
Yeah.
noodles, those discrepancies. Ugh.
I did have one client, and I still talk to him, and I'm still trying to figure out. He lives a few hours away, and I'm still trying to figure out how to hang out with him. He came in and he wanted to learn rope bondage, and he was in his 20s, a very good-looking guy, and so we just had a really good time. I was teaching him how to do rope bondage and tying him up and everything, and I actually made the move where I said, "Hey, do you want to go grab a bite to eat?" And so we went and had Vietnamese food. And then it was just so innocent and cute. Like when he walked me to my car, we just kissed, and we've been thinking about that night ever since. And
So on the real tip, then you like vanilla. Let's be honest, because that's fucking vanilla as shit. All right, you're a fucking ice baby right now, Miss
you're
Pandora.
gonna check them.
well, we kissed after I tied him up. I mean,
Oh,
come on.
okay.
Is that the path you took, Matt?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I was
Matt,
like, look, I'm
it was a
gonna
little
tie you up
different.
first.
He's tied her up, put her in the trunk, drove her to his house.
Yeah, we went and got Vietnamese, and I was like, look, I'm gonna take you out of the trunk. We're gonna kiss. It's gonna be a great first date.
You're not
Yeah.
gonna scream.
Yeah. Yeah. 8 years and Stockholm syndrome later, and I'm in a marriage, and that's how it works. But so, okay. And then so instead of something that you'll say like no to, is there something that someone asks for that you're like, oh fuck, all right, God, this again,
Not really. I can't. I'm trying to think. I mean, we would have clients sometimes who came into the dungeon that we just repeat clients that we all were about. Like
Wow.
there was this one guy who smelled really bad.
Yeah, like Smelly Steve's back, guys. Come on. Duh.
I had this one custom client who he likes a fetish called lift and carry, and it's just picking up women picking up women, men picking up women, cradle carry them, firemen's carry, where you throw them over their shoulders. And it was the funniest thing, because he probably ordered maybe 20 customs from me, and he would say, okay, well, it's going to take me a long time to produce the script, and then I'll pay you for the custom. And I wait for the script. The script was always the same story, just some derivation of the same story. And he acted like he was writing, Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment, War and Peace or something.
Did he want to pick you up, or did he want to be picked up?
No, my custom clients, they never participate in the
He
videos.
want to watch people be picked up.
What they want, I mean, imagine if you were really into a type of movie, like you like sci-fi movies.
So Princess
and
Bride
George
was his
Lucas,
favorite movie.
like George Lucas said, hey, just message me whatever you want and I'll shoot it for you and send it to you when I'm done. That's what we do. So they get this very customized script that they've written, and it's got all the particulars that they want, but they're not in it.
Okay. But he's into the act of people being picked up and carried?
So wait,
Yeah.
who
What?
So
Yeah.
who was picking you up though?
Oh, it just depended on the models. I shot maybe 20 clips with all different models. Caroline was in one of them.
Shout out, fan of the show, listener of the show. So okay, wow. So this guy, he wouldn't, like, the internet is full of free porn, but he's like, look, I'm not in any of that. I want to see someone get picked up like a literal sack of potatoes. What
Yeah.
would he do when he went to the grocery store? Would he just stand in the produce aisle and be
The
like,
dog
"God,
food aisle.
someone pick up that bag. Pick it up like I like it." You know? And he's just like banking that for later. But man, all right. So then what? You would get like someone would just pick you up and carry you away and be like, "I've picked her up and we're leaving." And that's the
Well,
script.
usually there was fainting involved. I was dating a guy for a while.
That's great.
I was dating a guy for a while who helped me shoot these because he was pretty strong. And so we would shoot in a park and I would faint and he would carry me away from the park. And the longer the carry, the better. You have to find someone who can carry you for a long time.
Kind of like, I mean, like you'd probably want someone who's minimum 5'11", right? Dark hair, big shoulders. I'm just saying, you know, I don't know. I mean, I've heard
A
of a
little
couple
5
guys.
o'clock shadow there.
Right. You know, I mean, this is more of like a 2 o'clock. I shaved today, pal.
Okay, fine. You can help me shoot my clips. Fine.
What?
Next
Oh,
time I get
me?
one, I'll call you.
Oh, you really think I could? Wow. Oh, geez. I didn't know maybe me. God, you're so flattering. But okay. So then
I've heard there was another girl named Texie of some sort that
Oh,
yeah.
you're gonna bring up the taxi.
Well, can I preface this by saying this is why Miss Pandora is one of my best friends. It's very rare you have one of your best friends call you and say, "By the way, have you heard of Tiny Texie? And you should check out my clip online with her." I'm like, "Wait, what?" She's like, "Yeah. So you know, there is a famous adult star named Tiny Texie, right?"
okay.
Texie.
Yes, and you can't say she's little people or I mean she's like a mini adult, I don't know how to, she's very popular, she's huge.
Like Matt.
She's got like a million followers now. She just blew up.
You're saying she's got a million, like me and her have similarities, Justin, like followers. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're referencing? Is that our similarities, Justin?
No, like you're like a tiny adult.
I'm
like, you know, she's Tiny Texie or Tiny Billy.
I am 5'11". 5'11" is not tiny. I'm damn near.
Are we saying Tiny Texie like Texas? Is that what we're saying here?
Yes.
I thought it was like Tiny Taxi. I was like, is this like a fake taxi, but with tiny people driving taxis?
Shout out fake taxi, Adrena Winters.
So she's
no.
I
got okay. I have to tell you guys the story. So I mentioned Jennery's Kink Adventures. They're a producer I shoot with a lot down in Florida.
Okay.
And on one of my trips, I believe this was at Fetish Con. There's a big fetish convention every year for people in the industry called Fetish Con.
Uh-huh.
And I was shooting with them at Fetish Con, and I see she's like looks kind of little, but she's an adult, and she's dressed like an adult, but she's not. I don't want to say midget. It's not very correct. It's not politically correct, but she's not a little people like on that reality show. That's not her because she's not.
Yeah, there used to be like, I don't know the political, you know what I mean? Like there was like a dwarf and a midget and a little person and
she's not that. She's not that. She's got some condition. I don't know the name of that means she's just going to always be like a mini.
The vertically impaired.
No, but she's proportional. I don't know how to say it. Just look her up. She's fun. She makes really fun clips. She's adorable. And so Jennery had us shooting a clip where I was working with this model, Nikki Brooks, who's amazing, awesome. I love her. And we basically were tickling Tiny Texie and having a 3-way with strap-on. So now, mind you, I shoot this stuff and I forget about it, right? I totally forgot about it. And my ex-boyfriend calls me up and he says, "Hey, I think I just saw a video of you with a midget on Pornhub." I said, "Don't say midget. Don't say midget. She's not a midget." He said, "Okay, but is that you? Is that you?" He said, that clip has like 3 million views. And I was like, "Okay, wait, I got to take a look at it." So I go to Pornhub and sure enough, it had like 3 million views, but nobody was looking at it for me. I was just Like I could have been furniture. They really were just interested in Tiny Texie.
I mean, until you called me and you were like, "Oh, by the way, I'm on this," and then I'm like, "Well, who the hell is Tiny Taxi? I know you."
But just to clarify here, the video you're talking about, it's you and Tiny Texie and another actress, and you
Nikki
guys
Brooks.
are doing the old Eiffel Tower.
Well, no, Nikki held Tiny Texie up in her arms, and I went at her with a strap on, or maybe it was the opposite while we tickled her.
And
Wow!
tickled.
You were tickling. Oh, so the tickle, yeah, needed
Dude,
to have.
I don't think there's
yeah.
anything I would like less than to be tickled while I was having sex.
I'd
I'd be so upset.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be worse things. I mean, there being a man would probably suck, but but either way,
You know what?
That's fun.
You know what's worse? You know what's worse is the fetish called ruined orgasm, which I did shoot a clip with another model where
what
where,
is that?
How do they
she
ruin
was-
it?
she was giving him a hand job, and
A
every time
handy?
he got close, yeah, and every time he got close to coming, I had to tickle under his arms to ruin his
Oh
orgasm.
my god!
And I have never been happy since then.
And that's how Oliver and you met.
Well, yeah, that day, but she.
After
and
acting class, he was like,
Hey,
well, that was during acting class. That
Yeah.
that was the acting class that day. It was try to come, and I was like, "All right, I'll do it." But
Yeah.
Hey, after class, if you're not busy, can I tickle you out of orgasming for like a few hours? Just like a real giggle fest where you feel real uncomfortable and horny at the same time.
oh my god! Wow!
and somehow Pandora and I became friends after.
You can look
that.
at my feet while we do it.
golly.
And as long as you trample me.
Can I
So
stand on your face
No,
later?
you can't combine fetishes like that. It's like Ghostbusters if you combine the streams.
Don't cross streams. You'd be like, I want to be tickled. I want you to stand on my face while you do it. I want you to be a little person. I also want to be covered in jam.
I will
can't
say,
cross
since
the
I've met
streams.
Pandora, my world has opened up a little bit. Like, I mean, not in the sense that I've done any of this or been able to see any of it, but I've heard about it. I didn't know FetCon existed. I didn't know trampling. I didn't know Tiny Texie existed. But since then, I've learned all of these things because she is one of my best friends. And again, like I said, we barely talk about her work now. Not that we ever really talked about it all
Hardly
that much,
at
but
all.
like every now and again, you and Matt, jdubs, you guys might sit down. You're like, today sucked at work. Blah blah blah. I will get a call occasionally that's like, "Hey, I have to shoot a video for a blind guy that wants to hear me poop. What do you think? How should I do that?" That's just it's.
I mean, that's a
How
day
many
changer.
hard-boiled eggs do you think I should use?
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
It's,
oh my god. Yeah. No, yeah. That's like, imagine you're having a bad day at work. You're like, and then you come home and Miss Pandora calls you and she's like, God, oh my God, what a day. First, I had to trample on this guy, right? And he didn't even want me to trample on his nuts. And then the next guy I had to take a shit for, and he could actually see, which was weird, right? And then the other guy, I had to tickle him before he splooged. You know what I mean? Like, come on. What a day. I mean, all in a day's work for Miss Pandora. You know what I mean?
And then Oliver would say, man, I wish I had your job.
Yeah. Don't we all?
I have said that, but I'm like, I wish I could have your job. And she's like, no one would pay you for that. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're right. That is 100% true.
True.
I'm like, I'm
If
submitting
only.
my resume all the time, just like I am to be a famous rap star. And no one.
So Bethany, right? So Bethany, you and your ladies, you're currently producing your next written work, right?
Oh yeah, it actually came out today. Our third
Oh,
anthology. Yeah.
sounds great. That's awesome. Your third anthology. There'll be a link in the description of this episode for that. Very cool. So what kind of stuff are you writing about in that?
So we have 3 books, the indie press that I'm one of the co-editors for. But they're all like women's fiction. Some things are spicy, some things are like horror, some things are sci-fi, but it all has like strong female energy, like main characters and stuff like that. So
Very
this is
cool.
the third book is Every Breath a Light that just came out today.
Awesome. Congratulations. So
Cool.
after having heard from another female, aka Miss Pandora, do you think anything of what she said might make the spicy section of the of the novel?
I know we would have to label the beginning of the story with trigger warnings, but yeah, I mean, I feel like this is I am inspired. I to go
Aren't
do
we
some
all?
more research.
He said, "Take me in your arms and treat me like a doormat."
Or a sack of
Trample
potatoes.
on my balls tonight.
I mean,
He said, "Carry me around the house. Tell me I'm nutty."
I mean, you know, it'd be
Me up like
great.
a sack of potatoes, baby.
She's like a concierge.
Matt,
you and your
I-
puns.
Concierge is
I
hilarious.
have one last thing to tell you, which is, I've given you a couple guests, and I have one last one for you. And if and I'm hoping you'll want to bring him on your show. But he's a pastor. So, and I'm not
Love
kidding. So I'm going the full circle here. And
He likes to be walked on too.
He's a pastor. He's also into being carried like dog food. Yeah.
no, he grew up with me, and we were hooligans together. And
You've a good
then he
collection
turned
of
his life
friends.
He turned his life around, and he is now a pastor in central Pennsylvania. And he also wants to be on the show, and I've talked to him about it. And I wanted to bring it up to you tonight because I just thought it would be a good segue to it. But,
Of course, brother. Hey, man, you got carte blanche, brother. You're my guy. So if you want to throw
Oliver
anyone
brings
on,
heat.
I'd be happy to have whoever you would like on. I mean, to be honest, you've brought nothing but fucking heaters on this show. So I mean, I would love to have a pastor on here and just get weird with it, you know?
You have no idea. His stories will he has
Will they
he
make
has
me
some
see
stories.
God?
They might. and or his friend. You never know.
Ooh, nice. So okay, so let's keep it moving then. So Miss Pandora, if you could please just give us a real quick description. What is a day in the life like for you right now? For Miss Pandora, let's say a nice busy day.
A busy day. I had a busy day on Sunday. I usually have customs kind of build up. There's one model that I just started working with. Her name is Lauren Sophia, and she's great. We always have a great time. So I try to market her to my regular custom guys, and so I had two that decided they liked her. So one of my friends, he has a site called Sam's Bondage Club, not like Sam's Club where you'd go and get your pickle site.
Get discount
Sounds better.
gasoline.
This is Sam's Bondage Club, and he wanted to shoot with both of us. So we went over to her house, and she has a nice new house, and so we just shot all this stuff. Just like that was a pretty busy day because we were shooting like 3 different projects.
What kind of project?
Well, one is death fetish.
Death fetish?
Go on.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah, there's
thrilling.
a death fetish. It's a
What
thing.
what is so someone pretends to be dead?
Yeah, we both did.
Is it
So you
like
put-
fake blood and like sprawling on the floor,
Or like,
Yeah,
are you in the
it's these-
casket or?
Well, it's these sort of CSI photos, and it all started
Mm.
because I worked with a producer called Bill's Playhouse, and they're sort of CSI photos, like crime scene.
Oh wow! So they had to have like the fake blood and like
No,
needle-
no,
oh.
no blood. They're just really into this sort of look.
like the aftermath kind of scene, like the almost like the
Yeah,
chalk
no blood.
outline.
They're not into gore. They're not into any kind of gore.
Okay,
So-
so first one was death
Look,
fetish.
I don't explain these fetishes. I just make money off of them.
Hey,
Okay?
no, hey,
No,
look.
but they're all
I'm-
interesting.
No, this is hey. First off, this is a judgment-free zone. If anyone judges here, get the fuck out. All right, we're not playing that game. Judgment free. We're not judging.
Not
We're
everybody
just
marches to the beat of just one drum. What
Amen.
might be right for you may not be right for some. You
Yeah.
take the good, you take the bad, and there you have.
the facts of life,
Wow.
baby.
Facts of life.
Yeah. When it's time to finally grow and show the world you finally know about the facts of life. The facts of life. When the world doesn't seem to be living up to your dream. And suddenly you're finding out the facts of life are all about
We're all
you.
about you.
They're
There
all
we go.
about you. You. Yes, I'm talking to you all about
Takes a
you.
lot.
It takes a
to get 'em
lot
right.
to get them right when you're learning the facts of life. All
Learning
right.
facts of life.
Amen. Amen, guys.
That's
So
what it's about, man. People helping people is
Goddamn
honestly
right.
at the end of the day what it's about.
shout out fan of the show, listener of the show. So okay. So then first one was a death shoot, facts of
It
life.
was still sad. And I just want to say some of my death fetish customers are the nicest people.
Oh, they're great. They're great. They're great.
And they have the most mundane lives. There's one guy that I've shot a lot of sets for, and we banter back and forth. Oh, how's everything been going? Great. I just had to replace my roof.
That to
You're
me
dead.
is like the funniest part. Sorry, Justin, go ahead.
No, that's like, he's like, yeah, got new tires on the car. Can't wait to see you dead. Having chicken for dinner tonight.
It's getting cold out. You know,
Can't wait
the
to see you get
weather.
murdered.
Yeah.
Were your eyes popping out enough in the pictures? Oh yeah, I did the eye thing great.
Yeah.
I can't wait
Wow.
to see your cold blue skin in my dreams.
Wow. So yeah. No, that honestly, if this was like a show or a movie, that to me would be the funniest part of it. Of like you're at the shoot, you're pretending to be dead and get up and you're like, oh hey Gary, how are the kids? Like, oh, kids are good. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, we found a leak in the roof and we have to get that replaced.
Exactly.
Like that's the funniest part to me. That is hilarious. Okay. So then
the thing is too is the other name for it is erotic horror. And shooting some of the erotic horror stuff has overlapped into one of the things that Oliver and I are doing, because I've been trying to get more into the mainstream acting and filmmaking, and we're actually shooting a horror clip. I've written some horror scripts, and we're actually shooting a horror short. So this weird fetish work has inspired the more mainstream filmmaking that I'm trying to get into.
Cool. Very cool. I like that. No,
you're already halfway there. You're just having somebody who has a very specific script for you, and you're like, well, what if I just did a more general script that isn't so exact?
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap with this stuff. A lot of the guys I've met, the producers I've met who shoot the bondage, they got into it because they would watch the movies of the girls getting tied to the train tracks, or the cop shows in the 70s where people would get tied up. That then they really like that. So
wow,
it's a lot of overlap.
Imagine if that never happened, would there still be this whole sect of fetish? Like look what they create. Dudley Do Right, just fucking getting everybody with the tying into the tracks. So okay. So you were at the shoot. So this is the first shoot of the day. It was 3 separate shoots. The first one was death fetish. What was the second one?
The second one was farting, but not
just fucking great. That is just fucking great. I fucking love this.
Farting, not real farting. We had to raspberry like that.
Is that is that by request, or is that just because no one can humanly make that many farts?
No one can humanly make as many farts as this guy is into.
You have to pretend that they're real, but I mean, unless
is this for the blind guy?
No,
Oh,
no.
I was gonna say
Depends
that
on what
guy.
I ate earlier. I might be able to do that for you.
Yeah.
Still,
I mean, did
you
you guys
don't
all have
have
to go out
to.
to Mexican
You
before?
don't have to.
is there a price difference between front and back farts?
Oh no, he didn't want any of those kind of.
No front farts, just back.
No
farts.
front part.
No queef.
Wait. Oh, yeah. When you said front part, I was like, wait a second. You meant a queef. Okay. Front parts, you devil, you. Okay. So, I mean, this is sounding like a great Sunday. So, first shoot was death fetish. Second shoot was farting fetish. What is the third shoot?
The third one was bondage and lift and carry.
Honestly, out of all of them, that's like, I mean, like it's like snooze, you know?
It's
It's like, come on.
Tie me up and drag me around.
So, okay. So you did those 3 shoots, then what?
Then we went and had dinner. We had a fruit
So,
dinner.
so those shoots took a while, huh?
They took a while, yeah.
Yeah. But you
Especially
were,
the guy who orders the fart videos, he has lots of long dialogue, kind of complicated.
oh, wow. So he has like a whole script of farting that he wants to talk about.
He has a whole storyline. It's like a series.
Does it start with like you guys eating beans together? And you're like,
No, the farting is part of the hypnosis thing.
Oh, I love it.
Is it like I was gonna say, like, are the farts like accidents, or is the farts like an aggressive move?
No,
The fart for dominance?
some scientist injects you with farting juice by accident. He's like, oh no, I've injected the wrong person.
I love it. I would love if you got a disease where farting replaced a word. So instead of saying like fuck every time, it would be it'd be like, oh, you go yourself, you know? I think that would be great. So, okay. So you did the shoot, you went to dinner. Awesome. So we got to keep it moving. We are coming to the top of time.
I know.
So Miss Pandora, I know me, Justin, Bethany, and Oliver are usually on the same page with this, but we would love to have you back on the show if you'd be willing to come back on.
Okay, because I got tons more crazy stories.
I 1,000 more questions.
Honestly, we really just scratched the surface. Sorry, I wasted so much time talking about the boring stuff at the beginning. My bad. But
it's okay.
So
check out, make sure we just have to see what kind of person you are, see what we're dealing with.
Yeah. We had to get a little taste. So
initiation ritual.
Amen. So okay. So, like we said, all the links for you will be available in the description of this episode, as well as for Bethany Cherney's new book. But Miss Pandora, we are coming to the top of time. Is there anything you want to say to the Miss Pandora fans, fanatics, fetishers before we get out of here?
Thank you for being freaks and supporting my lifestyle for the last 12 years.
God bless the freaks, every one of us. Very nice. Oliver Assiran. I love you, pal. Thank you for coming on.
You,
hey, what do you got to say to the Assiranians before we get out of here?
I say the same thing every time. Please listen to my wife's music, Kate Assiran on
link in the description.
Spotify. It'll probably be in the link.
Yeah.
And then also there's another thing this time. I'm in a play. It starts December 2nd. It's at the Interact Theater or the Lewis Glover in Philadelphia.
Nice.
It is called Miss Claudy, the Jamaican talk show host. Please come see it at the Lewis Glover Theater in Philadelphia. It is called Miss Claudy, the Jamaican talk show host. It is coming out December 2nd through the 11th in Philadelphia. Hopefully I'll send the link and it'll be in the bio.
Yeah, dude, awesome, man. I want to check that out. I love going to the theater. I love
Matt,
all that stuff.
If you come, you will be comped. You and jdub, I will get
I'll
you
come
guys.
See a play. I haven't seen a play since.
Justin, you're not a cultured man uptown.
And me and
I could
Miss
be a cultured
Pandora
man for a night.
Are every night I do it. We do every show together. So
go see the play.
Love it.
Please come.
Those acting classes paid off, y'all.
Yeah, amen to that. Very nice. Awesome. Bethany, DJ BJ Skins, Bethany Cherney. Thank you for joining us. You were incredible tonight. Dynamite droppings a galore. Anything you want to say to the DJ BJ Skins faithful before we get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, just go out and buy these books. They're a great holiday gift. And also, when are we gonna open up our own dungeon and have Miss Pandora teach us how to get it done? Because I'm in.
Whoa, how about
Bethany, I think you were already a step ahead when you came up with Manure Entrepreneur. You got it going on.
Jesus,
that's my pen name. That's from here on out.
Would that be something you'd be interested in? Like, say this, Miss Pandora.
Working Respected Podcast Dungeon.
Well, no. What if, like, say there's like, you know, maybe like wives or girlfriends or whatever that want to like learn how to spice it up, right? Like, could they come to you for a class of like, hey, try this works, or if you're thinking of this works, or this is how you do this, and this is what you need for this, and watch out for this kind of thing? That's not a bad idea.
I've had couples come to the dungeon, and I always had a great time with couples. A lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Nice. Awesome. Great idea, Bethany. Dungeon is happening. I mean, I will, if we can do a dungeon shoot, I will fucking do that, because that's would be, I mean, just call me fucking Mufasa.
Tie me up and carry me around.
Yeah. Just fucking fart for me. You know what I'm saying?
Dust off the ball gag, Matt. You know,
very
the
nice.
riding crop.
Amen. So, okay.
With your name on it.
Always keep a ball gag handy. That's what Miss Pandora says.
Rather be called with it than without it.
Amen. So, Jalen Dub, anything you want to say to the ball gag fanatics and jdub Nation before we get out of here?
I want to use my time. Bethany, what's your name of your book again?
Oh, Every Breath a Light.
Every breath.
The first one is called Not Quite As You Were Told.
Ooh.
And then the
Buying
second
it, Bethany. I am.
It's called
I'm
The
buying it.
Secrets
Me
We Keep.
too.
Thank
Sounds
you.
great.
I feel like everyone will in this audience will like my story in the first book the most. It's called Vile.
I like your puns.
Well, I'm buying the first book before I buy the second. So
There
you
you
got
go.
me there.
Because The Godfather
Well,
Part 1 is
thank you.
better than The Godfather Part 2.
Oh, no, that's not-
No.
Godfather
It's
Part
full
2 is
circle.
far superior, and you know it.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Is it
No.
under an anthology of unforgettable women?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's Not Quite As You Were Told is the first one, and it's from an anthology of unforgettable women. It is
It's
available on Amazon.
Yes, all three are available on Amazon.
And other
Amazon.
than that, I look forward to your return, Miss Pandora.
Yeah,
Me too. Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. It was fun.
of course.
I can't
Well,
wait to learn more.
yeah, speaking of learning more, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by Jalen Dub, Justin Richardson, DJ BJ Skins, Bethany Cherney, Oliver Assiran, and our guest today is the incredible, the amazing, the magnificent, the shit taken, trampling making Miss Pandora. And in case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. And you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe so we keep bringing you this sweet, sweet content. Thanks for listening. Stick around for the ad read. Thanks. See ya. Do you have a message or a story inside of you that you've been waiting to tell? Have you always dreamed of writing a book but are intimidated by the complexities of the book publishing world? Perhaps you want to use a book to launch your public speaking or consulting career. If so, please reach out to Scott and Bell Publishing, located right here in beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Scott and Bell Publishing handle all genres and authors with all experience levels. Scott and Bell Publishing gives authors 100% creative freedom and a higher royalty split. They can be found at www.skotbell.com. That's www.s as in Sam, K as in Kite, O as in October, T as in Tom, B as in Boy, E as in Edward, L as in Larry, L as in Larry.com. That's Scott and Bell Publishing, where the authors go.